Now, I also want to bring in something. I kind of want to bring in something blue, but I don't know if it's going to start clashing or not. So I'll try, and then I'll try to lift it if I can, if it's too much. No, actually, this looks gorgeous. I like that. Now, I don't want to turn this into grey, so I'm going to actually quickly take off some of it. And actually, yeah, I think I'll go into grey just because I don't want it to be green. I'm not placing anything too strategically here because I want it to be kind of artsy, you know. I want to have fun. So I'm going to add some of this grey in the dress and then this lovely yellow again over here, like that. So that makes it look quite a bit more finished. The other thing is, because it's gesso and not paper, you can actually almost completely lift it. So if I don't like it, say, in this area, I'm just going to wet it and lift it like that. So that's the fun about gesso and watercolor. I'm getting excited just doing this because this is really what art is about. You know, when I did that flip through of my college art sketchbook, I just thought to myself, we are sometimes so afraid of making mistakes and making something ugly. But in that process of making something ugly, you can actually make something very beautiful soon after. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. I think every mistake gets you closer to a good kind of result. So I'm going to leave it at that, because if I start to kind of make the whole dress take this color, I think it will just start getting a little bit too overdone. And I'm just actually over here going to add that gray because there's a little bit of a repetition of the yellow happening, which I'm not too keen on. So just going to do this, and let's see, I'll just darken it up a touch. There we go. Might be a bit too dark now. Just keep on going until you are satisfied. Here we go. I like that. That's perfect. Okay, so I'm just going to darken up a few bits and pieces over here with the remaining watercolors that I have. And now all I want is just to have like a suggestion of a neck without ruining things. And that's making me a little bit nervous, but I'll try and do it. So now, as I was trying to cover up what I didn't like here, and I will leave that ugliness that you saw from before. That was not me faking anything. That was me being real with you and showing you that from something very ugly, you can, in fact, if you work over it and be persistent, create something that you're more happy with. So yeah, so there is this bit of white gesso that's overlaying, and I think that actually looks really interesting. So I'm going to leave it at that. And I kind of want a neck which is not too scary. There you go. See, I can just lift that, sort of like washing it off almost. And so the reason I'm doing it not with a pencil is because watercolor, like I said, I can just wash it off. Pencil is less forgiving, and I would kind of create a bit of a face shape, maybe like so. So I'm going to take off some of it and just leave some lines a little bit blurred so that I can go in with a pencil now and get something a little bit more interesting. So I don't want the pencil line to be too harsh, so I'm going to go with the grain first. Like I did with the dress, I first used the Payne's grey, and then when I want a darker tone, I went in with the black. So I'm going to try and sort of now do a little bit of a scribble job. Now mind you, the gesso is a little bit, or the paper here is a little bit wet. Let's see, so I'm just going to draw a line here and leave it untouched, and then here I'm going to so I don't want to outline it too much. Let's see actually if I can lift the pencil as well. So the pencil does lift actually, so that's great news. If you make a mistake, you can still do that. And then I'm just going to create a face shape, and let's see, just something very simplistic, very kind of thing. That is pretty much it. I don't want to add hair because I think sometimes it's just too much, but I will add some kind of actually, there we go, that makes me happy. I'm just going to give her a nice bit of a bow. There's a bow in her dress, a bow in her hat, and a little fringe, and I will leave it at that. There is no more detail I want to add. I want to leave the face quite loose compared to the beautiful dress. So I want the focal point to be on this side of the dress, and then also taking it onto these scribbles kind of thing. Speaking of which, I will also add a few pencil marks like so, and I think a couple more here maybe. Alright, so that is it. I'm pretty happy with that. I'm kind of tempted to give her a nice lip as well, but I'm not entirely sure if I should do that or not. Let me just see. I'm going to use this light grey pencil for the bow because I don't want any dark color here, as I have this happening. And yeah, I'm going to do the lip scarlet. I mean, I just can't leave the lips untouched. They have to be there, but the color is wrong. I'm going to go in with the cadmium red. In fact, I will use watercolor, and I will go for that deep scarlet, which shoots it nicely. Like that. And I think that's quite pretty. I do want to do some shading on here and perhaps just add just a little bit of that Payne's grey watercolor here and there. Now mind you, because I now laid on the... Oh, it's looking a lot better now, doesn't it? Because I added on the pencils first, it just may not go on there basically, because the pencils are they are obviously oil based, and so they're not going to respond very well. But I think this is it. This is what I'm going to do. So I highlighted her hair a little bit of the bow, just like so. And I'm ready to leave it at that. Okay, let me dry it quickly and come back. So it's all dry now, and I absolutely love it. I have to say, this is not what I had in mind when I started, clearly, but it just sort of comes out of you. Just let yourself, you know, free, and it just gives me an excitement. So one thing I wanted to mention, when you work with gesso, even if you work with cheap brushes, make sure you give a good swirl in just the regular you know, water jar. You can see it looks like milk because gesso is very heavy body, it's very opaque. Then so make sure the gesso doesn't dry on your brushes, and then later, before they dry again from this, make sure you wash them out in sort of lightly soapy water, and they're going to be fine. So it's just a different way of looking after your brushes than compared to watercolor. So that's that. Obviously the fun part I already mentioned about gesso is that you can totally go over, correct, and it's sort of like an endless, you know, endless process that you can do. I hope you will feel inspired and give gesso a go. Gesso is just amazing. I mean, this tab, I'm using the Pebeo Artist Acrylics gesso. There are different types you can buy. I'll leave a link below. I got mine on Amazon, of course. Where else would I get all this stuff? So that is it. And with the paint, you can't really reuse it because once it dries, it's permanent and you can't lift it. So just, you know, put a little bit that you're going to use, but even this much, if I'm going to throw it away, I don't feel bad about it because I have a humongous tub here. It will last me a while, so that's a good thing about it. And yeah, I'm not going to say again how much I love it, but I do love it. I'm going to take some pictures and insert them for you to have a bit of a close-up and at the end of this video. So thanks for watching.
Bye bye videos.
Bye bye videos. Okay, see you soon.